sentencing or a novel in Primal Cuts Parts 1 through 29. Silence. These reflections just here are occasioned by the circumstance that after we were all seated at the table, and I was preparing to hear some good stories about whaling, to my no small surprise, nearly every man maintained a profound silence. A muffled silence reigned, only broken at times by the shrieks of the storm. I was going to remonstrate, but he silenced me by pouring them into my trousers pockets, for, like the coronation banquet at Frankfurt, where the German emperor profoundly dines with the 7 imperial electors, so these cabin meals were somehow solemn meals, eaten in awful silence, and yet at table old Ahab forbade not conversation, only he himself was dumb. Speak, but speak. I, thy silence, then, that voices thee, hark. The infernal orgies, that revelry is forward. Mark the unfaltering silence aft, from hand to hand. The buckets went in the deepest silence, only broken by the occasional flap of a sail, and the steady hum of the unceasingly advancing keel. Only the silence of the boat was at intervals startlingly pierced by one of his peculiar whispers, now harsh with command, now soft with entreaty. It was while gliding through these latter waters that one serene and moonlight night, when all the waves rolled by like scrolls of silver, and, by their soft, suffusing seethings, made what seemed a silvery silence. Not a solitude on such a silent night. A silvery jet was seen far in advance of the white bubbles at the bow. But when, after spending his uniform interval there for several successive nights without uttering a single sound, when, after all this silence, his unearthly voice was heard announcing that silvery, moonlit jet, every reclining mariner started to his feet as if some winged spirit had lighted in the rigging, and hailed the mortal crew. Rather Cape Tormentoso, as called of yore, for long allured by the perfidious silences that before had attended us, we found ourselves launched into this tormented sea, where guilty beings transformed into those fowls and these fish seemed condemned to swim on everlastingly without any haven in store, or beat that black hair without any horizon. By night the same muteness of humanity before the shrieks of the ocean prevailed. Still in silence the men swung in the bowlines. Still wordless Ahab stood up to the blast. All silence of cautiousness was therefore no longer of use. Silence reigned over the before tumultuous but now deserted deck. It is moreover declared in his pyramidical silence, as the three boats lay there on that gently rolling sea, gazing down into its eternal blue noon, and as not a single groan or cry of any sort, nay, not so much as a ripple or a bubble came up from its depths. What landsman would have thought that beneath all that silence and placidity, the utmost monster of the seas was writhing and wrenching in agony? For according to King Juba, the military elephants of antiquity often hailed the morning with their trunks uplifted in the profoundest silence. The isolated subterraneousness of the cabin made a certain humming silence to reign there, though it was hooped round by all the roar of the elements, long maintaining an enchanted silence. Ahab stood apart, and every time the teetering ship loweringly pitched down her bowsprit, he turned to either bright sun's rays produced ahead, and when she profoundly settled by the stern, he turned behind, and saw the sun's rearward place, and how the same yellow eyes were blending with his undeviating wake. The boats had not gone very far, when by a signal from the mastheads to a downward pointed arm, Ahab knew that the whale had sounded, but intending to be near him at the next rising, he held on his way a little sideways from the vessel, the becalmed crew maintaining the profoundest silence, as the head-beat waves hammered and hammered against the opposing bow.
Hello and welcome to the COP29 Daily Show in partnership with High Impact. From the Olympic Stadium here in Baku, I'm Rosanna Locke.
175, I'd love to get a new crib, I'd love to do this, and then you do the math, and you think, okay, well, let's go back. And they give you an itemized list, because what you need and what you want might be two very different things.
Oh, very good. I like that. Good planner. All right, this one I'm kind of surprised at. Baby namer, moms online?
Yeah, well, this is the fun part. Come on, we used to all buy books and look at the various names. That's all digitized now.
And world leaders arrived en masse for their two-day climate action summit.
The meaning of your baby's name, and even names you can expect them that maybe they'll be teased, so maybe you want to be careful about what name you pick.
You got a name picked already?
I do.
It is?
Will.
We'll be looking at what happened.
Babystyle.com.
Yeah, shopping. They've got everything and then some. What's nice about this also...
How will she tie them both together?
I don't know, it's in the news and business. Morning, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
I don't know if you would call this food, though. That's the only problem, Carol. Morning, Vince. We're looking at stock market futures gaining some ground here. It looks like there could be a nice pop when market action gets going. A little more than an hour. It's ketchup maker Heinz that we're talking about. HJ Heinz and high-end retailer Neiman Marcus, watching shares of both. Both are out with quarterly results. Heinz posted slightly lower profit from a year ago. Neiman Marcus reported a wider than expected loss.
It was my mission to meet and speak to some of the world leaders that are here in order to find out
earnings estimates for the third quarter, and that's helping its shares rally in the pre-market, even though it also warned on sales for the quarter. And Dell is out with some bullish comments. The PC maker says it's well positioned for recovery in the
United 175 heavy runway 9er, cleared for takeoff, traffic holding in position on 4 right. American 11, climb, maintain a level 350. American 11, Boston. First of Mike Lima, how do you hear? Mike Lima, any last word? American 11, Boston. American 11, the American on the frequency, how do you hear me? This is Boston. I tried American 20 left and I was going to climb him. He will not respond to me now. I don't like he's turning right. Yeah, I turned him 20 right. Oh, okay. And he's only going to, I think 29. Okay. Well, sure, that's fine. Yeah, but you want to get so you start on private bank. Thanks. For 7 Mike Lima, descend to pause discussion, maintain a level 240. PDF 210 will begin down. American 11, Boston.
The sound you hear is the ticking clock. We are in the final countdown to limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius. And time is not on our side. Exhibit A 2024, with the hottest day on record. And the hottest months on record. This is almost certain to be the hottest year on record. And the masterclass in climate destruction. Families running for their lives before the next hurricane strikes.
We're in the
Biodiversity destroyed in sweltering seas. Victims and pilgrims collapsing in insufferable heat. Floods tearing through communities and tearing down infrastructure.
Great trips stay with you forever. On Travelocity, we'll show you a calendar of choices for the price you want. Because a great fare isn't great if it's not available when you are. Travelocity. Go virtually anywhere. Oh, Leslie, can I have the new software IT delivery? Fred, I promise. American 11, if you
All
hear
of these
Boston
efforts
Center,
cost
recontact
billions
Boston
for our
Center
economies,
127.82,
and
that's
we need
American
to
11,
strengthen our global fight, and we need to render it
you
much
need
more
when you need
effective.
them. Like the entire family of HP network storage products, from single tape drives to automated libraries, with the reliability you expect from HP.
Fred, here is another request that can't be done in time.
HP and CEW, computing solutions built for business.
So if you're a Washington Wizards fan, or heck, if you're an NBA fan, you're probably having a heart attack this morning hearing that Michael Jordan is expected to return to the court.
American 11, American 11.
Action agenda.
Some really impactful words there from the Leaders Summit here on day 2 of COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan.
Jordan outside his Chicago restaurant last night, and he all but confirmed that he did indeed plan to return to the basketball court wearing a Washington Wizards uniform. He says he'll make an official announcement sometime in the middle of next week. Now, for the last 5 months, Michael has been putting himself through a very physical test. He's been scrimmaging with the likes of Penny Hardaway, Juwan Howard. He says there's a little bit of tendonitis in his right knee, but other than that, he is ready to go.
Place.
Holding league meetings in Orlando on September 20th, and Michael Jordan is expected to announce his intentions before that. If he should return to basketball, the Wizards say they are prepared for a flurry of last-minute ticket purchases. Also, plans are already in the works to televise as many Wizards games as possible. Reporting live from the MCI Center, Carol, back to you. Yeah, you can bet on that, Audrey. Thanks so much. Audrey Barnes standing outside the MCI Center where they're expecting Michael might be playing soon.
Michael could be taking the floor over there, no doubt about that. All right, from a basketball legend now to a real American hero. Millions of people visit the U.S. Capitol each year, some standing in line for hours waiting to get inside. Now a multi-million-dollar visitor center expansion project is underway to make the Capitol more visitor-friendly. Former Senator John Glenn is a spokesman for the project, and he's in Washington and joins us now. Good morning, sir. Great to have you.
Good morning. Glad to be with you.
It's interesting to me how you came to be a part of this project. It goes back to your childhood when you were a visitor to our nation's capital. Can you tell us about that?
Well, you know, when I was about 8 years old, I remember our first visit to That's many years ago now. And I remember to this day, though, walking into that Capitol and looking up at the rotunda and then visiting each of the...
American 77, your departure frequency will be 125.05, runway 30,
as Azerbaijan is hosting it,
that led me into the paths of where I went later on, but it certainly gave me an awareness and an appreciation for the Capitol and for our country. And I think the 4 million visitors that come here to the Capitol each year, these are much better than just...
Let's talk then about the outcomes. What are Azerbaijan's goals for this COP? How will you know
is what this will eventually look like. You'll have visitor center in here, they can enter under here. There'll be movies and artifacts and things like that that will be available. It'll be 3 things really. Educational, number 1 for the kids coming in there, and inspirational. I don't underrate that. I think that's a very important part of this whole thing. And number 3, it provides far better security, so we don't have some of these incidents like we had where some of the policemen got killed here a few years ago. Right, and there certainly are safety issues involved, and I know that there is not only long lines. Well, the safety issues are a very important one because this will give a more controlled flow than just having people milling around out here on the East Plaza that we have here right now. There'll be entryways in here that you can go into the Capitol, into the House or the Senate chamber over here. And also another factor, you know, we're a focal point of the whole world. The Capitol building is a symbol of our democracy. We have many foreign visitors come here from all over the world, and most of them want to visit the Capitol. This is a far more impressive and far better way, I think, of taking care of all the visitors, foreign and our own people here as well. Senator Glenn, how much money is needed for this project, and where will this money come from? Well, Congress appropriated $100 million. The whole thing is estimated to cost about $265 million. There's been about 35 pledged from corporations so far. We hope to raise $100 million from the rest of that $100 million from private sources, and that's what this drive is all about. We hope everybody can participate in this. Everybody should. You know, there's a precedent for this also. I might have preferred myself to see a Congress just appropriate the money and do it. We have a history, for instance, just a few years ago when they wanted to refurbish the statue on top of the Capitol. That was all done with private funds. So there is some precedent for this.
Senator Glenn, do you feel that Washington, D.C. is the tourist attraction, or maybe the tourist mecca, that it should be?
Well, no. Well, I think it is probably the biggest single tourist attraction in this country. Everyone, every family, you know, we have polls that show that I think it's like 3/4 of the people want to take their family to Washington, want their kids to experience coming to this capital city, this leadership city for the whole world, literally. And so we're, in a way, we're just responding to what the people of this country already want. I'd like to see more visitors to Washington also, not just from a money standpoint of tourists and business, but for the appreciation of what we have here, the Capitol, Arlington, the monuments, Washington Monument, Lincoln Memorial, things like that I think are very, very impressive and give people a feel of their part, their participation in this country when they have a chance to come here and visit.
Well, sir, before we go, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about your 1998 space mission. And can you tell us what was learned from that mission in terms
And here you need a tailor-made approach to large corporations and to small and medium enterprises. For example, when we speak to large corporations,
we were up there, what I was up there to see was, you know, when the younger people go up there, they have certain things that happen to their bodies, osteoporosis sets in, the body's immune system changes, becomes less resistant to disease and infection. Protein replacement in the muscle changes. Now, those are the same things that happen to the elderly to a large extent right here on Earth.
What's it looking
So
like
the idea was there is indeed a hurricane action going today. Fortunately, though, this big hurricane, Aaron, is going to move away from these systems on and off in the human body.
At one point yesterday, up to 120 miles per hour. You see the eye of Hurricane Aaron, and look how close it is to the coast. The thing that's going to happen is this fault system will not be able to open the door of the hurricane and begin to move it a little bit farther off. I'm hoping they'll now moving north at my age bracket. So we have to, the turn has already begun. Winds still pretty strong though, 90 miles per hour sustained. It is forecast to continue, as we said, though, to push away from land, but not expected to affect the Canadian Maritimes either, moving into the North Atlantic. That's what we're expecting with that. So they are watching another storm too. This is Tropical Depression number 7, which is located way out in the Atlantic. Same story here. This storm is forecast to go north.
We're going to take another look at another true science story. Picture this, a massive hurricane comes forced to evacuate. Gridlock on the strip. And walking down the runway this morning, we're going to give you a look at the latest fashions from the train.
Special fears. 767 possible hijack.
When is the last
American 11, 775, and was it any? Right now, we don't have any idea, but he was to the northwest of Auburn, now southwest Sparta,
Show in partnership with High Impact.
Where will you find the money to pay for long-term care? Conceal long-term care insurance protects you so you don't lose your nest egg. Conceal, step up.
Yes, we are in the sweet spot now.
There is no time to snap.
This is the news system today.
Anyone feel nostalgic for days of our lives? Merrill's financial advisor can help you allocate your portfolio, navigate today's unknowns. So while we can't bring back the past, we can make the future something to look forward
Performance Internet, the wireless internet.
On the creative tree of Shanta Adams were last seen on Sunday evening around 5 o'clock in the 1200 Brentwood Road Northeast. She lined is 5 feet 2 inches tall and she weighs 90 pounds. She was wearing a blue shirt and white blue blouse. Shantae Adams is 2 feet tall and she weighs just 30 pounds. She was wearing blue pants and a white blouse. If you have any information about either girl, please call DC Police. I guess their school budget is $80 million in the red, and that's going to mean some changes in the way the school system operates. School board President Peggy Cooper Clifford claims the shortfall in incompetence. She says the schools will try to close the deficit without affecting the lives of students.
Leather and lace and everything in between, it is all moving down the catwalk at Fashion Week in New York, and CNN's Gail O'Neill has been braving the crowd to see what some of us at least are going to be wearing, maybe the most pregnant of us. Morning, Gail.
Good morning, Carol. I'll tell you, this is the biggest media crush I've seen so far, and it's all over maternity wear. I'm backstage at the Liz Lang maternity show, and it's rock and roll back here. We have media from all over.
Hey, this is Native American Airlines calling. I am monitoring a call from the Flight 11. The flight attendant is advising our representative. However, everyone can have them. We have used the flight level 290. We're not sure. We think there's someone in the cockpit. Is what I'm hearing. We broadcasted over guns. We've gone errand. We have gone company. Nobody's talking to him. We don't know where he's going. We don't know what else to do. Lydia.
You can actually see it happen. That's if you give parents a choice, that gives kids a chance.
Flight attendant.
Well, one can change overnight. Good morning, you're all just talking to we swept off the high humidity, and in comes some fresh, cool, dry air. 67 here at NBC4 at a national airport with a fresh breeze out of the west-northwest. And it'll be gusting today 10 to 12 miles an hour with bright sunshine, highs reaching the low 80s. Tomorrow, bright and sunny after a chilly start in the 50s, should reach the upper 70s. And then Thursday evening, there's a slight chance for passing showers. Otherwise, we get dry weather into the weekend with Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's highs just near 70. Now let's check on that traffic. Jerry at the dump road this morning. It has been a little rocky. Good morning, everyone. Let's head south and show you the outer loop of the way just crawling from Eisenhower Avenue back to Colorado for an accident here just below the shoulder, but a very painful trip indeed. Looks like some moving a little bit, picking up a little bit of speed now on 270 out of Jordan. Thanks, Jerry. Coming up on News 410, the state of the West Nile virus around our area and the nation. Well, there's new concern this morning, but we'll look at these updates. Need 25 bucks to us.
Most people don't mean to be hurtful, but when you really overweight, you're all so you learn to build a wall around yourself to block out what you don't want to hear. Then I listen to talking. I watch Jenny Craig, and I'm glad I listened. There's never been a better time to join Jenny Craig with their personalized one-on-one counseling. And now, for a limited time, use 20 pounds for $20 plus the cost of food. Call 1-800-JENNY20. I was at a party recently, and I overheard this woman say she looks absolutely beautiful. And you know what? She was talking about me.
Is there a doctor on board that he doesn't see you guys? You don't have any doctors on board. So you've got all the first contact to your tower first time? Back in New York, Boston, I guess the situation with American 101, American 11, and the 767 body block in one LAX. We don't know where the FF is going. He is probably going to LAX with one wet top. We lost his top frequency, then we lost his transponder, and now the FF is just let them all be here. What's going on your end? We contacted the mailbox on the 270. Yeah, we were the primary target presently at Southwest Front. Okay. Colorado in the area. Ground off the seriously work out for the way that is 20 minutes southbound. Headed to southwest bound, like towards Hancock. Right around there. Leave that up in the wrong way, 1 by 1. I have no idea where he's going. No idea. Alright, you can tag him on the TSC. I have you ready to take him out primary only.
This finally come to fruition. It's an anthology of black music, and it's called The Long Road to Freedom.
Also, we're going to talk about Howard Hughes, the reclusive billionaire, died alone except for the people he paid to be with him. There have been a lot of books written about him, but now Richard Hack has written a book also called Fifed.
Anyway, lots to get to, but before we do, we've got another check of the weather from Mr. Roper. Al, it is such a pretty morning, isn't it?
When it comes to lemon mornings and businesses after the sun goes down,
It's still a perfect summer day. Good advice. On the nurse today, where are you from? Youngstown, what are you doing here? My son.
Show me some love. In today's fight,
Anti-White Boston Flame Service. We've got the flight attendant on the line here. On the plane, yeah. I have no idea how to do that. He can help me out. I'm going to read his note for you. It looks like he's Middle Eastern, he's no English, he was in 10B, 10 Baker, 9B and Z, speaks no English, the plane's in a rapid descent. Track of the aircraft over. Yeah. Okay, the flight attendant so they don't know what's going on in the cockpit. Are you in contact with them? No, we're not. We're trying to get in contact with them. Okay. No, you'll be like this. Okay. We don't really want to tell them that. Okay, don't. Okay, got it. Okay, then, okay, looks like there's severe bleeding that, he's keeping on the line. There's severe bleeding, there's a flat throat.
It's surprise, 7 Democrats and 2 Republicans are fighting for those nominations. And in Cincinnati, 2 men who once shared a local TV news anchor desk, current Mayor Charlie Lucan and Curtis Fuller, are the frontrunners in the city's first nonpartisan primary for mayor. This reverses the career switch of Jerry Springer, who was the first Cincinnati mayor and then became a TV star. Hey, we got off. This just in, you were looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the world.
I wouldn't think that it would be...
Now, I was just beginning to work on this story, obviously calling our sources and trying to figure out exactly what happened, but clearly something relatively devastating happening this morning there on the south end of the island of Manhattan. That is, once again, a picture of one of the towers of the world.
As a
we can see these pictures, it's obviously something devastating has happened, and again, unconfirmed report that a plane has crashed into one of the towers there. We are efforting more information on this subject as it becomes available to you.
Right now we've got Sean Murtaugh. He is a CNN producer on the telephone right now. Sean, what can you tell us about what you know?
This is Sean Murtaugh. I just was standing on the Vice President of Finance.
Sean,
Vice President of Finance for CNN.
Sean, we're on the air right now. What can you tell us about this situation? Yeah, Sean, you're on the air right now. Go ahead, what can you tell us?
I just witnessed a plane that just used to be 3110-4. That's as far as we have fly on several floors, the upper floors of the World Trade Center. I don't know which tower it is, but it hit directly in the middle of one of the...
Sean, what kind of plane? Was it a small plane? And we want to tell you what we know as we know it. We just got a report in that there's been some sort of explosion at the World in New York City. Live pictures here. We have no further details than that. We don't know anything about what they have concluded happened there this morning, but we're going to find out and, of course, make sure that everybody knows on the air.
These are, of course, the 2 twin Trade Center buildings that are down at the foot of Manhattan, that they really are the beacons of New York.
it was there that there was the explosion a couple of years ago brought about by terrorists. That's all gone through the courts, but this, we don't know anything about. We don't know anything that has happened here other than the fact that there's obviously been a major incident there, pretty good one, especially reported now from ABC News.
And then for leadership, of course, there are other countries that are looking to step in and to lead again because the economics and benefits, the prestige of being able to lead the world on this agenda is continuing to rebuild.
Well, that is all we have time for on today's Daily Show,
It's 8:52 here in New York. I'm Brian Fumble. We understand that there has been a plane crash on the southern tip of Manhattan. You're looking at the world. Understand that a plane has crashed into the world. We don't know anything more than that. We don't know if it was a commercial aircraft. We don't know if it was a private aircraft. We have no idea how many were on board or what the extent of the injuries are right now. We have, I understand, an eyewitness on the phone right now. Sir, good morning. This is Brian Fumble. Could you give us your name? Stuart, where are you right now?
I'm working at a restaurant in Soho.
All right, so tell us what you saw, if you would.
I was waiting at table and I literally saw it seemed to be like a small plane. I just heard a couple noises. It looked like it was down off the building, and then I just saw a huge bonfire on top, and then the smoke seemed to come down, and it just, a lot of smoke was coming out, and that's pretty much the extent of what I saw.
A private aircraft.
As Matt just mentioned, we have a breaking news story to tell you about. Apparently, a plane has just crashed into the World